Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well and having a fantastic week. In today's video, I'm going to show you some more cheap and easy DIY bird toys. Now, I made my first cheap and easy DIY bird toys video about a year ago. I think it was the first video to take off on my channel, which was very exciting. But I thought, as it's been about a year, let's do some more because we all know how expensive parrot toys can be. And if we can make some with some parrot safe things that we may have around the house already, or things that are a little bit cheaper to buy, then why not? And yeah, I really like these toys in this video, so I hope you do too. And let's get straight into it. So the first toy is going to be a very simple foraging bowl. So all you need is a spare bowl. This could be a plastic bowl that maybe you don't use anymore because you use stainless steel now. This bowl here is one of Olive's. The cage that we got, which was very kindly gifted to us by Northern Parrots, came with these lovely bowls, but they were just a bit too big for Konya's. That would be a hell of a lot of food in there, or if we put the right amount of food for her, it would be quite deep and she'd have a hard time accessing it. So instead of using these as food bowls, we actually use them now as foraging bowls, and they're very simple to put together. All you need is just some toy parts. We've got some broken toy parts that we can put in there. We've got some straws, which she loves to destroy. We've also got some balsa wood. I've got a little Planet Pleasures foot toy here made out of palm leaf. Also got a lolly stick. What else have we got? A rattan ball. More broken toy parts. Finger trap, which I think I said. Birdie bagel, foot toys, piece of vegetable tanned leather, which is safe for birds. So all of this can go into the foraging bowl. So I'm just going to pop all that in here now. You can use anything that your bird likes. You could even put a bit of substrate in here if you wanted to. You could also pop some crinkle paper in here. Obviously, when you provide something like this to a bird, you have to be just a little bit careful that they don't turn it into a nest. But of course, if you're using great hormone management, then there should be no problem with that. And this is a great way of reusing broken toy parts. Instead of just popping them in the bin, you can give them a second life, as it were, and pop them into your foraging tray. And then you can also fill it with a few little tasty treats, because everything's better with a few tasty treats. So I'm just going to pop some in here. We've got all sorts of bits and pieces in here that I popped together for this video. Got some millet, sunflower seeds, safflower seeds, hemp seeds, all different pieces like that. And these are treats that we would use just for training or for foraging. They wouldn't be in the main diet, so this is going to be a really lovely treat for Olive, and we'll see what she thinks of her foraging bowl. So the next simple toy is just going to be a very easy foraging foot toy. So we've got some paper straws here. I always recommend using paper over plastic because it's going to be safe for your birds to chew. Just make sure you know the ones that you're getting are safe. I get these on Amazon, and these are actually in my Amazon store as well, so you can have a look at the link in the description to it, and you can see lots of other bird safe goodies in there. So what I'm going to do, just because my birds are a bit smaller, I'm going to cut these in half. Obviously be careful with scissors. You don't want to be hurting yourself while you're making these lovely DIY toys, and they're going everywhere. So I'm using roughly about half a straw for my birds, as I said, because they're small. So I'm just pinching the end of the straw there just to close it up, and then I'm going to go to the opening of the straw, and I'm going to go back to my bowl of treats, and I'm going to get a single treat like a little sunflower seed, and I'm going to pop it into the toy. Now if your treats are a little bit bigger, like this pesky sunflower seed here, you might need to poke it down. I'm just going to use one of these little party preener things that we use for target sticks, so it goes all the way to the bottom. And then what I'm going to do next is just pinch just above that seed, just in there, just to kind of separate it out. And then I'll go in maybe with a smaller seed this time, see if I can find a hemp seed. And then I'm just going to pop that into the straw and then seal it off again by pinching it. And I'm going to go the whole way up, and then there's going to be a couple of little treats in there, but it's going to be a little bit harder for your bird to find because they've got to chew through the straw, open it up, and then get the treat out. So this is a really fun foot toy for your bird. So here are two that I've just made for the birds, just to see what they think of them. And another thing that I discovered as I was making them, if you can hear this, it actually makes a really nice rattling noise, and a lot of parrots really enjoy audio enrichment, so having that rattling as well as having tasty treats inside and something to destroy is a win-win all round. So we're going to see what the birds think of them. And of course, with any toy, your bird might need to be shown how to use them. They might need a bit of time. If they're quite neophobic about new things, they may be a bit cautious about these, but keep trying, keep reinforcing them if they're interacting with different things, and hopefully your birds will enjoy all of these DIY toys. Now my next toy is probably my favourite in the whole video, and that is basically making a foraging birdie milkshake. Now all you need for this is some bird safe crinkle paper. You have to be a little bit careful about some of the paper you get because sometimes it can be dyed with unsafe dyes. So just be aware of this, and just make sure where you're getting your bird safe crinkle paper from is actually bird safe. Then you want to have a paper cup. Now you can get paper cups that are plastic lined, which I don't agree with because you don't really want your bird chewing on plastic. The one I've got here is just made of wood pulp and wood fibre, and it is all paper. These are actually from Asda, so if you're in the UK you can get these from Asda. I think it was £1 for 8, so that's very cheap. I'm pretty sure that you can get some in Poundland as well, although I didn't double check that they were plastic lined or not, so do go and have a look, but just make sure that you are using paper cups, and that will be safe for your birds to chew. And then you can also use some more of these paper straws. Again, we've got the paper straws on my Amazon store, and I buy a nice big box of them, and I can make loads of different kinds of toys for my birds. And then of course, most importantly, some treats. And then we also have some scissors and some bird safe string as well. So to start with, I'm just going to sprinkle a couple of treats in here, just at the base. Then I'm going to get some of my bird safe crinkle paper, pop some of that in, making a great big mess. Add a few more treats in there, and all of this is going to encourage your bird to naturally forage as they would in the wild. And in fact, most parrots in the wild would spend about 50 to 70% of their day foraging. So if we can simulate some of that under human care, then we are going to have some very happy and enriched parrots. So I'm just going to stuff that in there, probably use all of the rest of this up just for fun. And of course we know that our birds love colour, so this is going to be very enticing for most parrots. And then I'm just going to pop a couple of straws in. Now this is just for a bit of fun, but you could actually use the straws that we made in the previous toy where you put some treats in there, but I'm just going to put some plain ones in here because I think our birds will enjoy just chewing them. And then you could just do just a fine little seasoning of treats on top, just to make it really obvious there's some tasty goodies in there. And now you could just give this to your bird as it is. This is lots of fun and it looks really great as well. But what I'm going to do, very carefully of course, please be really careful when you do this, and when you're making a hole in this paper. Ooh, treats are going everywhere. But I'm just going to make a little hole just on the side here, and I'm going to put some paper string through it so I can hang this up in the cage, and this can be a toy that they can have inside the cage for some independent play. So I'm just going to do this now. Again, please be very careful. Fingers if you are a child. Please get an adult to do it. To be honest, I need an adult to do it as well because I'm not very good at this sort of thing. But we survived. Fingers are intact. And then I'm going to use some of this paper string that is perfectly bird safe. I'm just going to tie a little knot in there. Again, be very careful with how you tie knots. You don't want any kind of loops in there. You want it to be a nice tight knot to the toy. And then I will probably use a little quick link or something on the top there, or I could tie it on with the paper string. And then this is a really fun and engaging toy that your bird can destroy. And that is the point of parrot toys, is to be destroyed. So they're busy destroying these and not destroying your furniture. If you wanted to spice this up even more, you could actually cut some holes all the way around the cup, and then they can pull the crinkle paper out this way. I'm not going to do that because I probably will cut my fingers off, and I think our birds will enjoy it as it is. So we'll see what they think, and hopefully they will enjoy shredding this. So next we are going to make a Parrot Puff Toy. Now a lot of people have made this online. I've not made it on my channel before, so I thought I'd show you, but it's not like a unique idea. I didn't create it, but I wanted to show you how to make it. Now in order to do this, what you need is to have some paper cupcake cases. They do need to be plain paper, not foil lined or anything like that, no silicone, just paper. And normally any paper cake cases that you use are going to be bird safe because the dyes that they use need to be food grade, so that's going to be absolutely fine. Then you also need some paper string. This is to thread these onto, and of course your trusty scissors that you need to be extra careful with when you are doing any crafts for your birds. So for this DIY, I've got 18 cake cases. I've got 3 of each colour, and I'm just going to put them all together because it's going to make life a lot easier and make this DIY a lot quicker. I'm putting them all together like this. I've gone for rainbow colours because I think it looks really fun. You can go for whatever colour scheme you like, or whatever cake cases that you find in the shop. Now when you've got them all together like this, you need to very carefully go all the way around the cake case and make little cuts, just at different intervals. It doesn't have to be completely accurate, but you want to make several cuts all the way around the cake cases, and that is what is going to help the cake cases go into a puffy shape when we thread them onto the string. So it turns out the scissors I had didn't want to cut through, so David's very kindly got me a new pair, and I'm just going to keep going all the way around all of the cupcake cases, just making incisions at different intervals. You can make them bigger or smaller. I think smaller tends to puff out better. And I'm just going to go all the way around. So I've made the incisions all the way around. To be honest, you could probably just make a toy like this. It looks very pretty, the colours are lovely, and you could actually hide little treats in between the sections. But we are going to make it as the puff. That's just another idea for you. And we're going to pop a little incision all the way through the cake cases. Again, this is something that could be a little bit dangerous if you're not very confident with scissors. So again, be very careful. I'm going to do mine now, and then we are going to start making this toy. You can actually separate these into sections just to make it a bit easier to do the incision, because it's a little bit tricky when you have so much paper, but that's just a little tip for you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start from the pink side, and I'm going to thread the first one upside down on my bit of string here. And of course this doesn't have to be neat because our parrots don't care, but essentially what you're doing here is threading one upside down and then threading one the right way up. Upside down, right way up, all the way until you've finished all of the colours. And you're going to do this all the way down the string, and then once you've got them all together, it's going to make a really lovely kind of puff shape, and I will show you what it looks like once I've threaded all of these on there. So this is what it looks like when it's all on the string, but all you need to do afterwards is just squish them all down, and then it looks like a lovely little puff like this. And then what you need to do is just tie off a little end of the string at the bottom, tie a little loop at the top so you can attach a quick link, or leave some left to tie onto your cage if you use paper strings to tie your toys on. But this is really fun. You could still hide some treats in between the sections, and also this is really great for little beaks as well, because obviously paper is very easy to chew, but birds of all sizes will enjoy this. It's a very simple toy to make once you know how to do it, having the cake cases upside down and then right way up all along the string. And yeah, it's a really fun little way to create a toy for your birds. So let's go and see what the birds think. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of our cheap and easy DIY bird toys. If you make any of them from the video, do let me know down below and let me know what your bird thinks of them. And if you have any other suggestions for DIY bird toys, I'd love to hear from you, because we're always looking for inspiration for our little baby birds here. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Take care and see you later.